And this is a review of another Die-Cast Masters Caterpillar model. As usual, the packaging is exemplary and it begins with an outer shipping carton and a nylon bag covering the tin. The model is a D10T2 track-type tractor, and if D10T2 isn't a word in the English language, it certainly should be. There are technical details of the real machine printed on the box, and from that we find that the real machine weighs a whopping 71 tons. Anyway, I bet the real one doesn't get delivered in a tin like this. With the lid off we see something unusual, and that's because this tin appears to be operated by the Die-Cast Masters operator. There he is, sitting in his own specially made plastic seat. So that's the first clue of one of the features of the model. The next task is to stick your fingers in the holes and pull out the black foam rubber. And then we can see the model sitting in a tin, but hang on, first out there's a bit of a brochure. Hey, there's a brochure to come out. That's it, let's have a look at the brochure, thank you. So, next job is to pull the model out, and you just have to be careful that you're holding onto something solid when you pull it out, rather than something that might break. So here is the small Die-Cast Masters brochure, and it describes the models in the range. But wait a moment, there's a spare piece of paper in this one. And it's handy because it's got instructions of how to fit the operator into the D10T2. Remember, if you want to support the Cranes Etc. team, you can do so over on our Patreon page, and the link is in the video description. For the assembly, we're going to assemble our man into the cab, and he's been waiting patiently, but we'll put him off to one side as we lift off the rollover bar. After that we can simply remove the cab roof, and first up that gives us a nice view down into the cab, and we can see the Cat logo on the seat back, and then we can carefully pop our man into his seat. You need to get his legs in so he's seated comfortably, and it's best to do that without breaking them off. And then we can set about locking him inside the cab by putting on the roof and adding back the rollover bar. Starting underneath, the structure is detailed with the transverse beam locked into the casting. The metal tracks are very good with bolt head details. The high drive sprocket looks good, but there are no working rollers on the bottom of the track frame. At the rear, the ripper attachment has got some nicely modelled hydraulics, and it's got a sharp tooth. A particularly nice part of the detailing is the fire suppression equipment behind the cab. The black handrails are metal and nicely thin. And the engine cover looks good with its big exhausts and air cleaners. At the front, the radiator grille looks impressive and there's a tiny Cat logo. The big metal blade is impressive and it has wear plate details on the bottom, although the perforations at the top are not perforated. Here we have the big D10T2 out on site. And there's too much friction in the tracks for them to roll on a smooth surface, but they're quite free rolling when you move them by hand. Of course the real machine doesn't skate around on ice, so let's give the model something to bite on, and then we see the tracks rolling just fine. This big bully of a machine likes to push things around, so let's see how the dozing blade works. And the rams are stiff enough to hold any pose with a good range of movement. The tilt function is really good and the blade goes forward a long way. If you prefer to rip and tear rather than push, then the back end of the machine is for you. The rams on the model are very stiff with some movement, but there's no problem achieving some depth for the ripper below the level of the machine. So it's easy to imagine gouging out the top of your furniture. There's another surprise on this model, which is the opening engine covers. They open nicely, although not fully, and inside you can see some engine components. So that's the view on one side of the engine, and if we go around the other side, we can see an alternative view. There is no easy way to take the blade off of the model, so to transport it we need a wide carrier, and here we found one that fits the bill. Now the good thing of course is that when it's on a transporter like this you don't want the operator in the cab, so here he is trying to be smart, travelling outside the D10T2. This model from Die-Cast Masters is a further step up in terms of what they're offering. It's got the high-class packaging and detailing that we've seen before, but this one is particularly good because of the features, and the ability to remove the operator is a real plus point. Overall, the D10T2 is excellent.